Good day, everyone. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Welcome to another episode of New Zealand Salesforce podcast. So today I have with me a very special guest, Anna Hesketh. So Anna and I will be talking about her journey to the Salesforce space and experience and the difficulties and the challenges she faced while learning stage. And I've been really looking forward to this podcast. So welcome to my show, Anna.
Thanks, Vickers. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So, what inspired you to get into the Salesforce space? I presume that you moved to Salesforce space recently.
I started my Salesforce journey actually a couple of years ago when I lived in Australia. I was still working in law, which had been in for 15 years. And then I decided to take up, training, doing the trailheads. Salesforce, is such a fast moving, challenging and innovative platform. And I was just really excited about, the industry and being able to have the flexibility to work from anywhere in the world as well. And yeah, you're just forever learning and pushing yourself. And I just think there's also lots of career progression. So that's why I decided to start Salesforce. And yeah, it's been an awesome change.
That's awesome. That's really great to know that that it's inspiring to hear that that the Salesforce it's inspiring people to get into Salesforce because of the career opportunity it brings. That's fantastic. So, how was your initial experience like? I mean, did you start
Yeah.
trailhead or what was your initial journey look like?
Yeah, sure. I started doing Trailhead, yes, um, for the initial learning, and I just really liked it because it gave you some real life scenarios along with obviously doing the theory. So being able to see what you've created in the back end, um, and to see what it looks like for users, and the functionality was super rewarding. So my learning experience was just doing Trailhead. Obviously, I was trying to learn, doing Trailhead whilst I was working a full-time job in law. So that was a little bit hard, just trying to manage time. But I just made a commitment, every day for, 30 minutes to an hour to make sure I just smashed out the trails. So Trailhead. I also have a mentor who is a great architect, and he has helped me as well a lot.
That's awesome. That's really good to know. So, do you really recommend having a mentor? I mean, since you touched upon the mentor part.
Uh, I just, yeah. Well, look, I think also what I found was joining I'm part of the Salesforce admin group on Facebook, but I'm pretty sure there is other social media platforms that you can be a part of for Salesforce. And lots of people post questions and things in there, so that helped me as well. But yeah, having someone to just kind of um, more tell me things at a level where I could really understand. Because sometimes, the terminology is very different to what I was experiencing when I was working in law.
Right. Yeah, that's the one of the thing I wanted to ask that, since you came from a law background, right? So
Yes.
people are normally coming to sales from a different background, often experiences initial hiccups and challenge, like you mentioned, terminology.
Yes.
So it's good to know that, I mean, you had a mentor. So, I mean, say for instance, right, if someone out there, like not really necessarily in the law field, say a teacher or say someone from a different place, a different domain, they wanted to
Hmm.
do Salesforce. So, do you recommend uh, Trailhead as the first option to go for, or do you recommend joining the user group or getting to know people and getting to understand? Oh, okay, so it's like a having a support, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, 100% recommend Trailhead, and just pretty much just getting involved with any of the groups on the social media platforms. Especially like for me, I'm, doing my administrator. So, yeah, being a part of those groups, following some groups on your trailhead as well. I think having the support to be able to like take a career career leap, essentially, like you're going from something that you've known for all of your life into something that is completely different, is challenging, but it's also super rewarding.
Excellent. That's good to know. Now, coming a little bit from a user experience, right? I mean, what was your first impression when you looked at the Salesforce, right? I mean, because the reason why I asked, right? I have a mate. I mean, he wanted to get into Salesforce, and when he jumped into Salesforce, he's like, interface is clunky, it look ugly, this and that. I don't want to deal with it. So, is that something you experience?
No, I actually, I just thought it was really impressive.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was really, really impressive. And, it'd be awesome if lots of companies could, every company could use Salesforce, because it's just like, it's really nice to use. It's got a good user interface. I found the whole learning process and the platform like fantastic. I don't think it needs any improvements.
oh, that's really good to know. So, I mean, but I mean, you just leaked out the secret. Now Salesforce will think, oh, we don't have to do anything. That's it. Cool. That's really good to know. Okay, now coming to the Salesforce features, right?
Yeah.
Do you find any features really interesting, or like for instance, do you find flows interesting, or process builder, or any feature would you like to talk about? Like you think, oh, this is a feature I can do every single day. I mean,
Yeah. So I do really like flows, schema builder, lightning app builder, or like working in the reports and dashboards. Um, Everything is quite interesting. And obviously, because I'm new to the industry, you come across things every day where you're like, oh, this is cool. Like this is what I'm doing, and I'm currently now doing deployments. So like all different types of things that interest me in Salesforce.
that's cool. And have you seen the Salesforce Classic version, or have you worked a bit on that?
No, I haven't. I did do actually in Trailhead. There was a module in there that had something about the in Classic, like working in Classic, and I did that. But yes, Lightning is very nice.
Yeah, it is, because it's more friendly. You can, it's mobile already, right? And it's
Yeah.
nice. Compared to Classic. I've used Classic. It's pretty clunky. I mean, I must say that people might disagree with me or who've been working on Salesforce for years, but I mean
Mm.
that's my personal opinion. But yeah, so that's cool. And any feature in Salesforce you hate the most? Like you said, I want it to be
So I wouldn't say hate. I would say that I'm still just trying to get my head around validation rules and formulas.
right.
This has been something that will take me some time, I think. But it's with anything. Like if you've got a good attitude to learning, and you just keep on like practicing and trying, you'll get there in the end. So hate's a strong word, so I definitely don't hate it, but it will take some time to get my head around
Yeah, that's cool. I like that too, really. Formulas, right? I mean, formulas can get tricky at times, right? I mean, I recently uh, worked on a formula, and I
it.
realized, oh, it's getting too complicated. And the one thing I struggle the most on formula is the um, indentation part, right? Because like if you, I'm not sure if you ever had a chance to use the developer console. So in there you can fine tune the code and intend it.
Yes.
With the formulas, right? I mean, you got to be very careful. You have to,
Yes.
in the space. Otherwise, if the formulas, get bigger, you will like, what the heck it is? Can't figure out the head and tail. It happened to me. Right? I was just, yeah. Validations rules up. Are okay though. I mean, it can get complicated, but yeah. I mean, it's cool. I mean, if you in the future, if you master that out, it's really helpful, right? I mean,
Yes.
from an admin perspective, it gives you that extra advantage without writing a piece of the code, right? So That's great.
Yes.
So now, coming to the certification, right? You keen to take any certifications in the future, or are you preparing for one? Or
Yeah, so I'm currently booked in to sit my administrator exam, and I will also get the Lightning App Builder after that. So
no?
I will be doing more. So the thing is, it is always good to just keep on learning and getting more certifications. So
Yeah,
yes,
that's right. I mean, I'm a fan of certifications too because certifications uh, gives you that opportunity to learn things which you normally don't get to work on every day in a working environment. So that's one of the advantage I think. Um, and plus it helps you get it recognized, right? People will say, "Oh,
yes,
this person knows what he's talking about," right? So, right. So now, since obviously this podcast is about someone came to Salesforce in space new. So there must be people out there who wanted to get into the Salesforce. So do you have any advice for people who wanted to get into Salesforce space?
yeah. So I think that like anyone can do it. Anyone can. Trailhead is so great for teaching and learning Salesforce. I at the start was a bit worried from being in law for so long that it would be hard getting out of my comfort zone, but I've actually really enjoyed it. So I think that the skills that I've learnt from my time in law has really helped me as well, in my new Salesforce career. So I would say, just keep on going with your trailheads, make sure you ask a lot of questions, join some Salesforce admin groups or, some groups through social media platforms. If you work in another industry and you want to be a part of the Salesforce, space, I'll just keep on learning and dedicate some time for some study. And also, yeah, I've also been using Focus on the Force, which is really good for any exam preparation. And yeah, I guess just be confident in yourself that you can do it.
Yeah, that's a very very good advice. Really appreciate that. And also, I do believe that person can bring their existing experience and like a domain knowledge. Like for instance, right, you from a law background, right? There, I'm
Yes,
pretty sure some law firms in New Zealand might be thinking, oh, let's use Salesforce. So when they start using Salesforce, right, imagine the experience the person can bring it, right, into the
yes.
space. So that's always handy, right? I mean, the previous experience can't be nullified, right? Because you can always make use of it in one or another way.
Yeah,
So
that's right. And for me, I had a lot of, business experience as well. So, being able to, talk to different stakeholders and users and everything like that has really helped me in this new Salesforce space that I'm in.
yeah, that's actually really helpful though, because interacting with different people and always this. I mean, I've noticed one thing, right? I mean, it's really good to have the business focused mindset when you're working with Salesforce rather than having just purely technical, right?
Yeah.
If it's a combination of both, that's really cool. Yeah, so it's it's impressive. I mean, I really liked your journey from the law to sales was really impressive, to be honest. And I
Thank you.
will set an example for others who must be thinking, oh, I'm stuck in my job, I can't do anything. So here's the answer: you can get into Salesforce, right?
Yes, 100%. You can do anything.
That's fantastic. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today, and I really appreciate the time. I know it's after work, so thank you so
No
much.
problem at all.
I
Thank
hope.
you so much, Vickers.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank
Cheers.
you. You too. Okay, bye.